Let's dive into the week ahead for November 10th. It is a wonky little time, my friends. We've got Mercury retrograde in the western skies, and with BaZi Chinese astrology, we are full on now in the month of the pig, the enemy of our year of the snake. And I cautioned you at the beginning of this year that November was going to be one of the most conflicted months of our year. We've just had an election, and there is so much going on. The United States government is shut down, longest shutdown, I think, in history, and things are really on their side. Let's break it down day by day. Welcome. My name is Lydia Griffith. This is Firehorse Wisdom, and I'm happy to be with you. When we look at BaZi Chinese astrology, it is based on the 5 elements and the 12 Chinese zodiac animals. And a lot of times when we are working with astrology, we are looking for the flow to our days. How can we navigate through these waters to ensure that we are thriving the best that we can, even when things are challenging? We begin the 10th, Monday, with a yin water sheep. And the sheep in this scenario, with the snake of our year and the pig of our month, those 3 pillars really speak of a beautiful start to this week. There is a creativity that is it feels like watercolors. It feels like there is a softness to this energy, almost poetic, a peacefulness, a tranquility. And also to recognize what a tool creativity can be for expressing your pain, your angst, your whatever, right? You know, that's where great novels and movies come from, great paintings and pieces of music. And so we could ask ourselves, what is the muse of this moment for you, and how can you express that on Monday? Tuesday, we come into a yang wood monkey, and the monkey is yang metal. And with that yang wood stem sitting atop, that in of itself is oppositional. The monkey and the snake typically form a semi-fire penalty. But, the nuance to this month of the pig is the enemy of our snake. So the fire penalty of the tiger, monkey, snake is thwarted this month. So if you have those animals in your BaZi astrology, you get a little bit of a reprieve. Things seem to be a little more stable for you. But there is still something amiss. Somebody's meddling with something. There is an undoing going on. And you can ask yourself, again, Mercury being retrograde, you know, did you go into your computer and all of a sudden an entire file just disappeared because you hit the wrong button, or you spilled your coffee on your computer? It is that kind of a day, right? It is the day that you think taking a shortcut to get to work faster is going to be a good idea. And be really mindful with this day. Don't try to fix what isn't actually broken. Yeah. And then we get to Wednesday, a yin wood rooster. Again, we have the opposition of wood and metal. There is something conflicted in this. What are the words you're saying? Are they cutting? Are they insulting? Are they inflammatory? And what is that tone? Is it more of a shriek or a whine, right? This is a week and a time, my friends, to really check in with yourself. Not everything you think needs to be put in the comments. That being said, I do welcome your questions and comments. I do request that you keep them as kind as possible and always respectful. But yeah, this is like squash your ego, man. Bring that down, bring it into your heart. Find compassion when you speak. Empathy and compassion and respect for others. And if you can't get there, maybe choose to speak another time or not at all. So yeah, there's some fighting words on Wednesday. And it could also be a bit of a wake-up call about what we are hearing and what is the news of the day. Thursday is a yang fire dog, fired up for justice, blazing some battles. Who are we saving? What are we saving today? A lot going on about justice, fairness, and equality. And it's raging with either anger or passion, compassion. Very strong energy on Thursday. And when you follow that thread, like I love to do with a week ahead, when we look at this, that the week began with this soft, creative flow and verve into a day of a monkey that's just kind of like, don't fix what's broken. Things feel a little bit wonky, not a good day to go and get your car worked on. And then we go into Wednesday with the rooster, where your words are coming out of your mouth and you don't realize your tone is off or your words are not nice. You've really like backed yourself into a word corner. And then to come into Thursday with this cry for justice, it's almost as if whatever went down Tuesday and Wednesday, there's a course correction being demanded in our collective, or maybe in your office or in your home or wherever, to then arrive at Friday, a yin fire pig mirroring our month. Double opposition. So things, again, wonky kind of situation of meddling and things not being right on Tuesday. And again, cutting words. And what are you waking up to on Wednesday? To the cry for justice Thursday, that then comes into a raging, full-on battle conflict on Friday. And it's almost that feeling of being in a discussion, interaction, discourse, confrontation with somebody. That situation where everything you say is making it worse. Everything you do is making the situation worse. And you feel like you are drilled into something you can't get out of, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. And to land on Friday, it's like I failed. I failed at work, or I failed with my kid, or I failed with my partner, or I failed myself. So Friday, dear Lord, Friday is the day. All of that opposition, get into a bath. Go into the woods for a walk. Go sit in a tree. Get a cup of tea and sit in a corner with a book that lifts your heart up. It's a day for radical self-care. In the fray of the world, which could again be your personal self. This is a day to cocoon and retreat. And then we're now on the 15th, and this is Saturday. It is a yang earth rat And it feels like a cold day. And it also feels like just energetically cold. Everything that's happened this week. Cold shoulder, distant mood. But it could also be a gathering of people. Gathering to sum up the mathematics of this week's astrology. There's a deep dive thought, right? To gather with the masses and kind of collectively go, man, what's really happening here? Could also be a day to sit down and just get into paying bills and stuff that has to do with money. And kind of look at your budget. Where am I? How am I going to afford my groceries? That kind of thing, you know? And then Sunday, we close out the week with a yin earth ox. Very cold, dry, hard-working day. A day that maybe feels, for some reason, isolated. Kind of like, I'm going to go rake a pile of leaves just because that's what I need to do today. Climbing a mountain, trudging through whatever it is that you've got that you have to do today. It doesn't feel fun. It feels like this is a dutiful day that you just have to push through and get the stuff done. But it feels a little mopey, maybe depressed, maybe sullen after the week that we've had. And I hope that this astrology lands softly for you. Remember that in the moments where our collective world or your personal life is out of balance, is incongruent, feels in conflict, do this breath with me before we close. Rub your hands together and take 5 slow breaths. And you can do this any time of the day to get into your parasympathetic nervous system and calm your body. And then make fists and rotate those wrists in one direction about 5 times. Feet on the ground, maybe barefoot on the earth, even better. Immediately when we put our bare feet on the ground, we begin to earth and root and reduce the inflammation in our body and come into, again, that calm nervous system. And we're rotating in the other direction, 5 slow breaths. Amp up your self-care right now, friends. It's one of the best things you can do. Then we're going to touch fingertips to the thumbs, starting with pointer fingers to thumb. Inhale into the power of your belly. Lift it up to your radiant heart through the grief of your lungs. Holding at the top. Exhale. Middle fingers. Big 3-part breath. Power of your belly. Up to your heart. Grief of lungs. Ring fingers. Big 3-part breath. Take it up, 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 up. Hold at the top. Pinky fingers. You got this. Hold at the top. Hold, hold, hold. Hands together in prayer. Press your thumbs against your heartbeat. Take 3 slow breaths. Trust, my friends, that everything really is okay. Trust that the path of life that you are on is yours to co-create with God, the universe, your guides, your guardians, and angels. Always, always. The astrology is a guidepost, letting you know where the poo is on the road, where the ditches are, where the potholes, so that you can navigate around it, not be fearful of it, but have an awareness of it. And to adjust, adapt, and accommodate, as we do in yoga, And if you haven't had your BaZi Astrology read yet, now is a time to do it, because I give you the extra bonus gift of your 2026 update as part of your reading. So as you know your astrology and you can work with it, you recognize that we began the week with a beautiful creative flow. And maybe the rest of the week is just sidestepping the potholes and the poop. And doing things that maybe are a little more ramped up with self-care, with time in nature, with being more quiet, more contemplative, and less go, go, go. Less so busy. And create the spaciousness that I think our nervous systems are asking of us right now. And I'm here for you. Know that. That's why I make these videos. We all need that guiding hand in life. I'm honored to be that. So until next time, please be well. And also follow the shorts every day. It's like a little fortune cookie of wisdom I can give you to remind you of what the day's medicine is. And again, that way we can get through it all with ease, with grace, recognizing how abundant we are and how much in our lives we do have to be grateful for. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Be well.